Hello everyone, welcome back. Today we are discussing Ali Smith's Spring. And first up, I absolutely love this. Sometimes I feel I'm almost not clever enough to review an Ali Smith book because her works feel almost like a form of performance art. I know that sounds strange, but there's such an interesting and unique blend of the written word and really innovative ways of using and manipulating the written word, as well as art, as well as wider public discourse, wider popular culture. And in no case is that more true than in Ali's seasonal quartets. Spring is the third instalment, and the final instalment, Summer, was originally due out in July 2020. I don't know if that's still the case with COVID, etc. But this is the third instalment, and what Ali has established in these books is a way where she takes the very toxic, angry, confusing contemporary issues and public dialogue around things such as Trumpism, Brexit, social discord, social disharmony, climate change, etc., and brings that into stories that she creates unique to each of the four instalments, where themes of that season are weaved in. So, for example, in Spring, the theme is obviously around new life, rebirth, new chances, new happenings, new openings, opportunities, the young, and it all comes together right at the end. But as you're reading this, you realise Ali's just on a completely other level for weaving in such amazing and often clashing ideas that shouldn't really work together. For example, such a toxic discourse and ideas of spring wouldn't necessarily go together, but it's beautiful. So Spring, let's stop my waffling. Spring has a central plot. It has a central story. In it, we follow a guy called Richard who's just lost his best friend who's died, and he's also a man that seems to have lost trace of his own daughter and his own family, a man who needs a new beginning. His paths cross with a woman who is working with refugees and displaced persons arriving in the UK. And their lives are transformed by a young schoolgirl who enters their lives, who is a bit of a Greta Thunberg, Emma Gonzalez type, passionate about climate change, about the opportunities that the next generation will bring. And all of this, Ali blends into writing that also incorporates toxic, like I said, the sort of the megalogs from Twitter and from the news media and from social media and the sort of slogans that we use, and I'll read an excerpt later, as well as really interesting ideas of climate change. She refers to art exhibitions that were going on in London, particularly Tacita Dean's artworks that dominated London in the past year or so, and it just comes together in a really brilliant book that brings spring to life. This isn't going to give you the great characters of, say, Elizabeth Strout or Anne Patchett or any of these great writers that are able to weave and create these wonderful characters that stay with you a lifetime. This is a story about ideas, about change, about newness. This is a novel, a piece of writing that is about now. And it's fantastic. So I'm going to read you a couple of bits just to give you an idea, because Ali Smith's books are just not orthodox. So hopefully, I have to get my glasses, the eyesight's gone. Anyway, we'll gross about that. So first of all, I'm going to start with a passage that's about 2/3 of the way through the book, which looks at spring. March. It can be pretty hard going. Lion and lamb, the cold shoulder of spring. Month of the kind of blossom that could still be snow. Month of the papery unsheathing of the heads of the daffodils. The soldier's month. It takes its name from Mars, the Roman war god. In Gaelic, it's the winter spring, and in Old Saxon, the rough month, because of the roughness of its winds. But it's also the lengthening month, the one where the day begins to stretch. Month of madnesses and unexpected mellownesses. Month of new life. Before the Gregorian calendar, the new year started not in January but in March, to celebrate both the vernal equinox with its tilt of the north towards the sun again, and the feast of the Annunciation, the day the angel appears to the Virgin Mary and announces that even though she's a virgin, she'll conceive, and by good spirit. Surprise! Happy New Year! Everything impossible is possible. Beautiful, right? But also with that positivity, have I got time? Yeah, I'll do a quick little reading. Also with that positivity, Ali flips it to reflect where we are today. So I'm just going to read, for example, the first couple of paragraphs of this book. Well, actually, the first chapter is one giant paragraph. But I'll just read a few lines just so you get. This is how the book starts. Now, what we don't want is facts. What we want is bewilderment. What we want is repetition. What we want is repetition. What we want is people in power saying the truth is not the truth. What we want is elected members of parliament saying knife getting heated, stuck in her front and twisted. Things like bring your own noose. And we want governing members of parliament in the House of Commons shouting kill yourself at the opposition. We want powerful people saying they want other powerful people chopped up in bags in my freezer. We want Muslim women, a joke in the newspaper columns. We want the laugh. We want the sound of that laugh behind them everywhere they go. We want the people we call foreign to feel foreign. We need to make it clear they can't have rights unless we say so. What we want is outrage, offence, distraction. That's the first page of Ali Smith's book. And as you can see, the font is continuous shouting, blaring, really reflecting social media. I mean, my God, Ali Smith, she's phenomenal anyway, but Spring is absolutely gorgeous. It's blend, it's roller coaster of emotions and the emergence of hope. I loved it. Ali Smith, Spring.